Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, My Loverlies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today, we are not talking about cheap makeup. Today is New Makeup Monday, and we are doing a high-end haul. I got a bunch of stuff from Burke's last time I went. I hit the jackpot, honestly. So we're going to do a little bit of an old school haul. We're going to talk about some serious savings, and we're just going to explore some expensive makeup. Before we get started, a very special, very warm welcome to any of those that are new to my channel. I am so incredibly happy that you are here. If you enjoy the content, I do so hope that you will mash that thumbs up button. I hope that you will subscribe if you have not already. And I hope that you will ring my bell, turn on your notifications, so that way, next time I upload a video, you can come right back here and we can hang out together again. Also, my makeup is done. I used a new brand. I don't ever hear people talking about this brand, and I think it's an independently owned one. It's very, very small. I used the Ruby May, this is the Purple Haze, or the Purple Kush palette. I picked this up off of shopwanderlustbeauty.com. It's an online discount makeup retailer, dirt cheap makeup, but they have some really nice brands there, and it's another way to explore new brands without spending too much money. Y'all, when I tell you this palette is absolutely fabulous, I paid $5 for this palette, worth that all day, every day. So you do get a full-size mirror, but this is a color story, and it is so pretty. Lots of grungy greens and purples. This bright green is absolutely just, oh, so nice. I love the look that I came up with today. I did make sure to film a TikTok on today's eye look if you were interested. I'll make sure to have the tag with that for that, as well as all of my other socials in the description box below, as well as everything that I'm going to talk about in today's video. And of course, if you have any questions about anything I used or anything that's on my face, all you have to do is leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Alright, I think that's about it. Let's go ahead and jump in to the new makeup. I actually have dang near a full face of makeup to talk about. I am so excited to share everything with you. Let's start off with some complexion products. First up, we have this bad boy right here. Now, if you've been a member of my channel, a subscriber for any amount of time, you will have heard me speak about this foundation. It has been on my most wanted list for a very, very long time. This is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I have heard so many people have so many wonderful things to say about this foundation. It was in a lot of people's top 10 last year. Like, it's got good reviews. Like, a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about it. Now, especially for, like, dry-skinned ladies. Like, I'm a dried-up, dusty old mummy. I just, finding a good foundation can be really, really difficult. And, you know, sometimes you can't really trust what influencers have to say because you never know if their intentions are genuine. So when I went to my local Burke's and I saw this sitting on the shelf and it was in my shade, I was like, Lord, it was like the clouds parted and the Lord told me, he was like, you need to try this. This was meant for you. Y'all, I snatched this up so freaking quickly. At full retail price, this goes for $50. $50 is incredibly expensive for a foundation. You guys know that I feel like you don't need to spend high-end prices to get a fantastic foundation. There's so many at the drugstore that I really, really adore. However, I picked this up for 50% off, so I got it for $25, which is still fairly expensive for a foundation, but it's just a little bit more expensive than some of my, like, more high-end drugstore foundations, so I justified the price. I picked this up in the shade Vienna. It is just the teeniest bit deep for me, so I ended up mixing it with just a few drops of my Shop Miss A shade adjusting drops in the shade White. Now, the reason I like these is because it adjusts the tone of the foundation without messing with the formula or consistency, anything like that. Like, the tiniest bit of this goes the very, very longest way. So I was still able to experience the formula of the light reflecting foundation, and I was still I was able to adjust it to my proper tone. I think that the match is almost spot on. I'm very, very happy with it. Now, as for the actual formulation and like feel of this foundation, it is very, very liquidy. It is very lightweight. It goes on and it feels like nothing on the skin. You get a good amount of product in here. You get one full fluid ounce. Yeah, you get one full fluid ounce, so 30 mils. Very standard amount of product. The actual packaging is really nice. It's a glass bottle with a matte kind of top to it. It does come with a pump. I like this a lot. I put this on my skin and it felt like nothing. It blended absolutely effortlessly. I would say that there is a good, solid, medium amount of coverage, which makes me very, very happy. I like a good medium coverage foundation. This went on, and when I tell you, you guys know that when I pop on here, I never come on with my makeup just freshly done. I feel like that's not an accurate representation of how makeup looks and how it wears throughout the day. At this point, I've had my makeup on for, I want to say, a good at least 5 hours at this point. And when I tell you, my foundation and my base looks so beautiful. It goes on, it's got a really beautiful, natural, skin-like finish. It's not overly dewy or radiant, but it's not mattifying in the slightest. It goes on and it just looks like your skin. It mixes well with other products. I did mix a little bit of my L'Oreal Lumi Glow Drops in with it today, just for a little bit of added radiance, and it looks beautiful. Guys, this is stunning. I am so in love with this. I can completely understand why this costs $50. It wears so beautifully throughout the day. Like I said, I've had it on 5, almost 6 hours at this point, and usually by this point, I start looking a little bit dry. I start looking a little bit heavy and a little bit cakey, especially around the corners of my mouth, because I do have like quite a few lines here. So product likes to kind of build up and separate right here at the corners of my mouth. It also likes to do it around the edges of my nose and on my forehead. Now, when I tell you my foundation, it looks like I don't have any on. It looks like my skin is just beautifully radiant and gorgeous, and the Lord just made me perfect. Like, it looks so beautiful. I have been wearing this nonstop, I want to say for about a week at this point. Y'all, this is so beautifully long wearing. I actually put some on before I went to bed last night. Now, I never sleep in my foundation, but I was doing a test. So I put it on and I went to bed, right? I slept for a good 8 hours. I was rolling around, tossing and turning while I slept. I sweat while I sleep sometimes because I'm freaking premenopausal. I woke up and it looked beautiful. It looked so good. It had rubbed off just a little bit around where my face had kind of rested on my pillow. But when I tell you, my skin still looked almost as good as when I had applied it the night previous. I was absolutely flabbergasted. I am so in love with this foundation. It's so good. And, it's Christmas time. It's expensive. It's expensive. So if you don't have the money for it, I think that there are other foundations at the drugstore that are almost as beautiful or just as good. But it's Christmas time. We're all making our shopping lists. We're all making our lists for Santa. And I figure, what time? Treat yourself. Treat yourself if you're looking for a really good foundation that is going to be gentle and kind to your dry skin, but is going to be beautifully long wearing. I think this foundation is fantastic. I'm in love with it. It comes with a pump. It's so good. I really, really like this. At $50, it's really, really pricey, but honestly, I think it's worth it. I like this foundation so much that I actually, when I run out of it, because I'm sure that I will, because I like it that much, I will repurchase it. And if I have to repurchase it at full price, that's just what I'm going to have to do. I like it that much. It is freaking fantastic. It is my first NARS complexion product that I've ever tested out, and I am very excited and very intrigued to try more. I cannot wait. Next up, let's talk about a blush. So I picked up a blush from It Cosmetics. It Cosmetics is one of those brands that I don't find them to be super interesting. I think they're super expensive. I think that a lot of their products are just kind of basic. They're not really interesting to me. I'm not interested in any of their like eyeshadows or things like that. But I have heard nice things about their complexion products. So when I saw the Bye Bye Pores Poreless Blush, I was kind of excited. I picked this up for $10. It normally goes for, I want to say, around $33. Bye Bye Pores Blush goes for $29. So it's a $30 blush. I was able to pick it up for $10. I picked mine up in the shade Love. It says it's a natural soft pink. So this is what the packaging looks like. I'm not a super fan of the It Cosmetics packaging. I just think it's boring in general. I don't think it feels particularly luxe or like special. It's just a compact. It's just a powder blush compact. It does feel nice in the hand. I wouldn't say it's like particularly heavy, but it does have a soft touch matte feel to it that does feel really, really nice in the hand. Open it up, you get a full-size mirror, and this is your blush color. Now, I am wearing this blush today. I do think it is a very, very pretty blush. Do I think that it is anything super special and worth $30? I certainly do not. I think it's beautiful if you have the money to spend and you just like absolutely adore this color and you feel like you need it in your life, then you're not going to be disappointed. There's nothing wrong with this blush at all. I just don't think it's anything super special. I didn't find it, I don't think it's like particularly blurring. I have some of my blushes from the drugstore. Specifically, I want to talk about my L'Oreal Age Perfect blushes. I think they have that kind of like velvety texture to them as well, that kind of go on and are a little bit velvetizing and, kind of blur things out. This one manages to be matte and velvetizing, but it has the tiniest amount. It's a very, very matte blush, but it has almost the tiniest bit of like a soft, satiny kind of radiance to it as well, which makes it go on and look really, really beautiful and skin-like on the skin. But again, it is gently pigmented. It's easy to build, but like you do have to build it if you really like that pop of blush on the cheeks. I just don't think it's anything super special. For $10, which is pretty much a drugstore price, I think it's nice, but I don't think I would ever pick it up for full price at $30. I just don't think it's worth it. So there's that. We have another blush. This one, however, is from Dominique Cosmetics. And if you don't know who Dominique is, her name is Kristen Dominique, and she is another YouTuber. She has her own channel here on the platform, and she's absolutely stunning. She has had her own brand for, I want to say, a very, very long time. I have used quite a few products from her, namely her eyeshadow palettes, but I had never used any of her complexion products. So when I spotted this on the BoxyCharm drop shop for $3, I definitely had to pick it up. Now, at full price, this goes for $22, which is definitely a higher end price point, but I think the packaging, even this, compared to the It Cosmetics, I think this is so much more special and so much more beautiful. I just don't think the It Cosmetics is worth it at all. This, however, for $22, I think is spectacular. The packaging is absolutely beautiful. It's heavy and it's weighted. It feels like an experience. It feels luxurious and beautiful. This is the Silk Tone Cream Blush in the shade Warm Peach. You guys know how I feel about a good peachy orange blush. You get a full-size mirror, and also another one of the things that I really adore about her products is she always gives you an inspirational quote on the inside of most of her packaging. Just, it's feel good makeup. She's such a sweet, kind person, and she's all about self confidence and self love. So I think it's really, really beautiful and special and kind of an important message. But as for the actual product in here, first of all, the tone is absolutely everything. It's orangey and it's gorgeous. It's orange without being like too warm. Like there's definitely warmth to it, but there's also like a neutrality and a coolness to it that I think is going to make this very, very appropriate for or pretty or beautiful on a bunch of different skin tones. It's really beautiful, beautifully pigmented as well. The tone and the texture of this is just, oh, it's pigmented but beautifully buildable. It is a very thin, very lightweight kind of formula. It's not sticky or heavy at all. It blends out absolutely effortlessly. It's not patchy. I found that I didn't have problems with it picking up my foundation. It didn't mess with my base at all. This goes on beautifully with both a sponge and a brush. I do prefer to apply it with a brush, as I do with most of my cream blushes, but it's so beautiful. It shears out gorgeously. It's not sticky or tacky, but it does leave a really gorgeous kind of like glossy radiance to the skin that just makes you look so healthy and flushed and like juicy and natural. It's really, really beautiful. This comes in a bunch of different tones, and I want to show you how buildable it is. So there we've got a really gorgeous kind of sheer application. We're going to add just a little bit more, and then it builds on itself really, really beautifully without getting patchy, without getting like splotchy or streaky. It's so pretty. I am in love with it. I would rather have this Dominique Cosmetics blush over this It Cosmetics blush any day, anytime. And this is $10 cheaper than the It Cosmetics. I just think this is absolutely fantastic. I adore the packaging. I think the packaging is absolutely everything. I love the tone of it. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with this blush. I have not a single bad thing to say about it. And even at 22 bucks, I mean, it's expensive and definitely more expensive than most of the things, anything you're going to get at the drugstore. I think at 22 bucks, you're getting a good amount of product here. You're getting really beautiful packaging. I think the quality is there. So definitely worth the $22. Next up, I have a highlighter. Y'all, this is like, this is a, what is the word? This is like monumental. This is the first ever for my channel. We have a Charlotte Tilbury product. Y'all, 9 times out of 10, I stay away from Miss Charlotte Tilbury. I just, other than some of her complexion products, powders mostly, I just am not impressed. I'm not intrigued. It just doesn't do anything for me. I'm not a big fan of the tones that she chooses. Y'all, it's just very different makeup than what I usually wear. I like loud, bright, fun, colorful kind of makeup, and Miss Charlotte Tilbury is all about timeless, classic, classy, just very everyday, barely there kind of makeup, right? So not my thing. However, I remember when this particular highlighter came out, everybody was talking about it, and I was just like, oh, I would love to try it. So this is it's the Glow Glide Face Architect highlighter. I have this one in the shade Champagne Glow. So I think it's the lightest one. Y'all, this highlight goes for $48. So almost a $50 highlighter. I would never. Especially when some of my very favorite highlighters in the entire world come from Shop Miss A and they're a freaking dollar. Like, I would never. However, when I went to Burke's and I saw this just sitting all lonesome and lonely on the shelf, I was like, oh. So this was just about 50% off. So originally at full price, it's $48. I was able to pick it up for $25, which again is so stupidly, ridiculously expensive for a highlighter. But I was so curious. I had to do it. So when you get it out of the packaging, this is what it looks like. It comes in its little insert. You kind of like peel this back, and this is what the actual product looked like. When I tell you, I was so disappointed when I opened this up and this was a compact. For no other reason than this feels so dinky. I was expecting, like, you know, when you see it and you see it's like this gold kind of packaging and it looks really beautiful, you're expecting it to be this heavy disc of just like super weighted, luxurious feeling highlighter. Y'all, it feels like a drugstore compact. And then when I shake it, like it rattles inside, it doesn't feel like high quality makeup at all. It does not feel like this highlighter costs $48. Let's just say that. So moving on from the actual packaging, I mean, it's not bad. It's not awesome, but it's not bad. You open it up, if I can get it open. It's kind of a pain to open as well. You open it up, you do get a nice full-size mirror, and I will say that the mirror in here is really, really high quality. Super clear, it doesn't distort, it doesn't warp at all, so very, very nice mirror in this compact. And then you get a nice big pan of highlight. I will say that I wasn't impressed because the highlight, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the highlight turns in the packaging, which I was not impressed with at all. It kind of like makes me feel like it's going to fall out, so I have to be really, really careful with it. Now, the color in and of itself is really beautiful. I would say it's just a standard champagne color. It's got that really pretty light golden tone to it. That is what it looks like. I will say the highlight is beautiful. It is, so I love the embossing on the pan as well. It's got these little stars in there. The highlight is stunning. It is super, super glowy. I like the tone of it. It doesn't leave a cast on my skin. It is just, it's super finely milled and really smooth. It's not glittery or chunky in any way. It looks really, really stunning. It looks gorgeous on the skin as well. We'll add just a little bit to it. This is my new brush. This is my new very favorite highlighting brush. This is my MOTD Your Time to Shine E333. This is like, oh, it's so nice. I got this for $2 off the BoxyCharm at Drop Shop. So happy. This brush is fantastic. I love how long it is. I love how long the actual bristles are. They're super floppy. It's perfect for highlight. I'm going to take just a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury and let's add it to... There we go. You guys can see that almost instantly. I do have quite a bit of highlight on already, but you can definitely see that adds, and it's such a pretty smooth kind of highlight. But do I think it's worth $48? Not necessarily. I just don't think it's worth the $48. I think that there are so many formulas at the drugstore for so much more affordable prices. I just don't think that this is necessary. Like, it's one of those makeup products that you think is going to absolutely change your life, right? It's one of those things, it's so expensive and it's so overhyped that you think the minute you get it in your hands, like, this is going to be like the best highlight that you've ever used in your life. It's going to be like, this is the highlighter to end all other highlighters. Like, you think that it's kind of like, it's got that kind of hype behind it, right? And then you use it and you just realize, oh, it's just a really nice highlight. I don't think that I would ever repurchase this. I'm not going to recommend it to you. I feel like if you've been really like just eyeing it and you just want to try it so bad and you feel like you just really need it in your life, I don't think that you would be disappointed. It's not a bad highlighter by any means. It's absolutely beautiful. I just don't think you need to spend the money on it. I just think that you can find very, very similar quality at the drugstore, even at Shop Miss A. Like, you can find things that are just as good for like a fifth of the price. It's just not necessary. Oh, speaking of another incredibly overpriced, overhyped product that is just ridiculously expensive, y'all. I know we've all heard about this. This is the Too Faced Lip Injection Maximum Plump lip gloss. This is quite possibly, it is in fact, the most expensive lip gloss I have ever used. This lip gloss goes for $33. This is a $33 lip gloss. I don't know who in their right mind would ever pay that much money for a lip gloss. I would never. Now, I did find this at my local Burke's. I picked it up for $12, which is still really expensive for a lip gloss. Like $12, like, I could never. I did though. I was so intrigued. I hear so many people say that this is their absolute holy grail, that this is the best lip gloss that they've ever used. It's been around for eons. Like, it's just, everybody has owned this or used this at some point. Everybody loves this stuff. Also, everybody says it's like incredibly painful and it's like super plumping and juicy. It gives you like super juicy, glossy, plumped up kind of lips. So I was as intrigued as I was kind of like doubtful. So I gave it a try. I picked it up for $12. This is just, I don't think it comes in different colors. This is just the Too Faced Maximum Plump Lip Injection Lip Gloss. I will say the packaging is so cute. Too Faced has some of the absolute cutest packaging. It is so adorable. I really do enjoy it. It comes with its own insert, like its own pamphlet on like, yeah, we're not going to go through it, but it comes with its own pamphlet. So it must be like this really kind of like high profile, highfalutin kind of lip gloss, right? Too much for my country bumpkin dollar lip gloss kind of self. Y'all, the packaging, the actual tube of lip gloss is really pretty as well. I love the color of it. Very, very pretty. I don't even know what to say about this. I was so flabbergasted by it. I was expecting this to be a much bigger tube of lip gloss, specifically for $33. I was thinking that we were going to get like a butt ton of product. However, you're not getting a ton of product in here. There's actually a very small amount of product in this tube for $33. I was expecting a lot more. I will say that the actual packaging is very, very nice. It's very, very pretty. The color of the lip gloss is really gorgeous as well. You open it up, it has a really pretty kind of flat, very, very flexible kind of doe foot, so it makes it really easy to like contour to the lip. It goes on. It has like almost this like fruity, spicy kind of scent to it. It goes on. It does make the lips look incredibly juicy. There's the tiniest bit of, I want to say, like opalescence. It's not necessarily glitter because there's nothing chunky about this lip gloss. It's pretty much clear. Let's do a little bit of a swatcheroo. So you guys can see. It's pretty much, let's put this back in here. It's pretty much a clear lip gloss. There it is right there. But it does have a little bit of like a shine, a little bit of an opalescence to it, which just enhances your lips, makes them look that much juicier. It is a very thin, very lightweight lip gloss. It almost feels like a mix between a lip gloss and a lip oil. It is incredibly comfortable on the lips. Now, when I put this on, I was expecting it to feel like super like spicy hot, like almost painful. However, I find that this, it's not painful at all. It just has a slight kind of tingle, a slight kind of burn to it. It almost feels like I ate just like a really spicy kind of chicken wing, but not even as bad as that. Now, I do notice that that kind of tingle and soft burn does last for, I want to say, a good 15-20 minutes. I haven't noticed any real significant plumping of my lips. However, it's a really, really nice lip gloss. I don't have anything bad to say about the actual formula. I think it looks beautiful on the lips. It's really, really comfortable. I like the way that it smells. I just think it's a really, really nice lip gloss. Would I ever go out and repurchase it for $33? No, never again. Would I ever go and repurchase it for $12? Maybe. Maybe. It is a really, really nice lip gloss. I love the way that it feels on my lips. It is so lightweight and glossy, but it gives your lips such a gorgeous, juicy shine. I really enjoy the applicator as well. I think for 12 bucks, it's nice for like an every once in a while kind of purchase, but at 33, I would never. There is nothing in the world that would ever convince me that this lip gloss is worth $33. No. I think that a very, very comparable formula to this is the Dominique Cosmetics Max Plump lip glosses. I think they're really, really similar. They have the same kind of feeling on the lips. However, those ones, they don't feel quite as lightweight. These ones definitely have a very singular texture to them. They're very glossy. They almost have that oily kind of slip to them, which makes them incredibly comfortable to wear. And for that, we give credit where credit is due. However, for $33 or even $12, I just don't think it's enough to make me want to go out and repurchase it, even though it is very, very pretty. We are almost at the end of today's haul. I just have two more things I want to talk about. Let's talk about a brow product. Now, brow products are one of those things where I feel like I would never in a million years ever spend high-end prices, just because there are so many amazing brow products at the drugstore that there's just no need to spend serious money on an eyebrow product. However, I had this video in mind when I went to Burke's, and so I was trying to get a full face together, and I came across this thing right here. This is the Givenchy Mr. Brow Filler. This is in the shade Blonde. Now, this is still available on the Givenchy website, only it's only in the clear shade. They're pretty much the same formula, only this one is tinted. I have this in the shade Blonde. This goes for $31 at full price. And again, incredibly expensive, but it is luxury, high-end makeup. Y'all, I really like this. I really, really like it. The packaging, first of all, is freaking fantastic. I adore the packaging. It is heavy. It is luxurious. It feels like a moment. You've got, like, I love the tone of the packaging. I love the silver kind of hardware and, like, you know, just kind of like, it's just pretty. It's just really, really pretty. I love the actual mechanism. It clicks closed, so you know that it's staying, like it's locking in place. It's staying fresh. It's airtight. I love that. You take it out, and this is your brush. I want to highlight the brush because, or the spoolie, because I think it's really, really unique. So it is more of a triangular shape. There we go. It's a super triangular shape. It's also very, very tiny. This is probably the best spoolie on an eyebrow gel or eyebrow kind of product like this I've ever used. This goes in and it separates every single hair. It stands everything right at attention. This and the actual like formulation of the gel locks everything in place without making it feel heavy or crusty or crunchy. Like, it is just so good. It's literally all I have in my brows today. It is beautifully pigmented. I really, really like the tone. I do think it's a little bit warm for me. However, I was able to make it work. Y'all, it is so pigmented. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a swatch going on. Yeah, there we go. So there's a little bit of a swatch. It's just got a really beautiful kind of very, very neutral tone. I usually prefer something that's a little bit more on the cool end of the spectrum, but this is neutral enough that I feel like it would work for quite a few people. It is pigmented, but it's not overly pigmented, so you can really go in there and really stand up your brows without worrying that they're going to get too dark and they're going to look like, you know, like, I don't know, Eugene Levy eyebrows, you know? I feel like sometimes when I overuse a tinted eyebrow gel, I get those Eugene Levy brows, and it just makes my forehead look really, really heavy. Y'all, I am so in love with this eyebrow stuff. It is so, so good. I love the brush. I love the formulation. Again, I've had my eyebrows done since I did my makeup, so almost 6 hours, just about 6 hours at this point. My eyebrows still look fantastic. It's got enough pigmentation in there that it really goes in and it fills in the brows. The gel like really holds them in place. My eyebrows haven't fallen at all. They've kept their shape all day. I am in love with this. So this goes for $31 full price. I was able to pick it up for $9.99. That is very much a drugstore price point. A lot of my eyebrow gels are even more expensive than that, so I am very, very happy with this. It is definitely something that if I ever see it at Burke's again, I will repurchase it because it's so, so nice. I would love to be able to try out the clear version of this because I could use it with some of my other favorite brow products. The gel, like just the actual formula of this is so nice. Sometimes eyebrow gels, they can just be really heavy. They can be too wet, you know, and take forever to dry down. This has got that really super lightweight kind of formula, but it really does stick your brows up and keep them in place. It's so, so nice. And the packaging, I just can't get over how nice the packaging. 10 out of 10. So, so nice. Now, last but not least, we have one last product. We have this bad boy right here. So this was an Ulta purchase, not Ulta. This was a BoxyCharm purchase for me. I got this with my BoxyCharm last month. This is the OFRA Miami Mini Mix Face Palette. So what you're getting in here is you're getting 2 blushes, 2 bronzers, and 2 highlights. Now, when it comes to the OFRA formulas, I just absolutely adore them. I think their powders are sumptuous. They're seamless. They go onto the skin and they blend effortlessly. They're pigmented, but not overly so. They're very easy to build. They build quickly and like smoothly. I never worry about patching. I never worry about streaking or anything like that. They're just really gorgeous, gorgeous powders. Now, I adore the tones in here. So this palette goes for $42 at full retail price. I was able to pick it up for $12, which is just absolutely just a steal. You get 6 different powders in here. All of them are beautiful. I can use every single shade in this palette. OFRA pretty much is known for their highlighters, and you get 2 different shades of highlight in here. You get Magic City, which is this top one, and then you get Ocean Drive, which is this slightly deeper one. Now, this slightly deeper one is a little bit deep for me to use on my skin tone. If I was really, really tan, it might look nice, but it looks really beautiful on the brow bone, on the inner corner. This is just one of those highlights that is just, the lighter one is just, they're so smooth and so gorgeous. Like, look at that. They're absolutely beaming. Like, people could see me from outer space. Look at that. And it's so glowy and so smooth. It never emphasizes texture. It never makes my pores look gross. It's just pretty. It's just beautiful. And this purple blush is my absolute everything. I have been obsessed, absolutely obsessed with this purple blush since I received it. I also really love this one as well. This one is a little bit of a rustier, more kind of terracotta color, which is perfect for the season that we're coming into. Like, this is absolutely stunning fall blush. Both of the highlighters are really gorgeous. I can use both of the bronzers. I do think that this one is just a little bit deep for me, but again, because the OFRA products, like, yeah, it's more of a contour shade for me, for sure. But because the OFRA products are really beautifully pigmented, but they're easy to blend, I can use this one as more of a contour shade if I go in really light with it, so I can get some use out of it. Like, it does blend out. It's got a nice cool kind of undertone to it, so definitely works as a contour for me. Just have to be really gentle with it. But the other highlight, the other bronzer is perfect. It is a perfect tone for my skin tone. Again, that great amount of neutrality to it definitely adds warmth, but it doesn't look red or brown or orange on the skin. It's super pretty. I love it so much. I love every single shade in this palette. For $12, I think it's an absolute steal. For $42, I still think it's worth it. At $42, it's just kind of outside of my price range. However, if you've got the money for it, I highly recommend any of the Mini Mix base palettes. I have a couple of them in my collection at this point, and I've never been disappointed by any of them. I just think that the OFRA powder formula is really well done. It's well done. I think their tones are fantastic. I think the colors that they choose to put together are fantastic. I love the packaging on this as well. It's holographic. It's just fun. It's fantastic. And with that, that is the end of today's video. I really hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it at least a little bit. I am in love with 99% of the makeup that I talked about today. I definitely think my favorite thing in the entire video is going to have to be the NARS foundation, followed very closely by the brow filler. So nice. I also really love the OFRA palette. The only thing that I'm definitely not going to recommend is the IT Cosmetics blush. I also, yeah. Oh, I forgot to talk about this thing right here. Okay, we got one more thing to talk about, y'all. One more thing. So this is the Too Faced Born This Way Sunset Stripped Eyeshadow Palette. Now, I had to pick this up because I have heard so many people talk about this and absolutely love it. I feel like Too Faced needed a little bit of redemption. The last palette that I talked about from Too Faced was the Mini Kitty Likes to Scratch eyeshadow palette. Actually, my sister was here yesterday and I gave it to her because I hated it. I thought it was awful. But I'll pop up a picture of it. It was awful. I was not impressed with the longevity of the eyeshadows. I was not impressed with the I just didn't think it was great. I thought the packaging was really nice, but that was about where the positives ended. So when I saw this at my local Burke's, I was like, okay, it's redemption time. Because again, I've heard really nice things about this eyeshadow palette. First of all, I want to say that the packaging on this, 10 out of 10. This feels expensive. Like, it is super heavy and weighted. It feels solid. I love the packaging. I think it is so adorable. Again, Too Faced, they just take it there with the packaging. I think it's really adorable. Open it up, you get a nice full-size mirror. I do think that the quality of the mirror is really nice. You open it up, and this is your color story. Firstly, the first thing I notice about this is how scented it is. It smells perfumed, and you guys know I adore a scented makeup product. I love things that smell good. I think it's an added little bonus anytime makeup products are scented. So I really enjoy the scent here. I wouldn't say it's anything like fruity or anything like that. It definitely smells like a perfume scent, but it's not super heavy. It's not like a rose. It's definitely floral as well. It smells like gardenias. It's very pretty. It smells like kind of like a more expensive, fancy kind of perfume, if a little bit dated and a little bit like old lady-ish, but still very pleasant. The actual layout of the eyeshadows is cute too. Kind of looks like a brick, maybe a brick, something like that. Maybe it's like a boulevard sunset strip. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. Either way, I think it's very pretty. I like the shades that they included in here. I love that it is a cool toned eyeshadow palette. We're definitely going into the season for cooler toned eyeshadows. So I do think that I'll get quite a good bit of use out of this in the coming weeks. I think it's really pretty. I have right off the bat noticed that the formulation is much, much different. They instantly feel so much better than the shades in that Kitty Likes to Scratch palette. Absolutely instantly. Also, like, I don't know. I feel like there is really great eyeshadow available to consumers now for really, really affordable prices. This palette goes for $52 at full price. So yeah, $52 for this palette, I think is a little bit much, especially when I can go out for $10 and get really fantastic quality, get more options, get more shades, and more volume of product for like a half the price. I just think it's a bit much. I was able to pick this product up for $25, so I was able to get it for a little bit over 50% off, which I'm not mad about at all. At $25, I don't feel so bad about picking it up. I think it's nice. Do I think it's anything super standout or noteworthy? Not really. The formula on this is definitely better than the mini palette that I tried. I think the shimmers in here are really, really beautiful. They're super sparkly and gorgeous. There's a couple of like duochromatic shades in here as well, so there's nice fun textures. But even then, I think most of it is just that it's just not my kind of makeup. I definitely prefer bolder, more fun kind of makeup, and this is definitely more subdued. It's definitely more everyday oriented, and it's just not anything that really inspires me. Now I can still, I just dug it. I can still admit that it's a really beautiful palette, and if you're into this kind of color story, I don't think that you would be disappointed with this palette at all. For $25, I think it's okay, but for $52, I would never. I think that there are, you know, very, very comparable, if not better, formulations available out there for like much, much lower price points. So I'm not going to recommend you go out and pick this up unless you've just been like absolutely drooling over it, and just really just want it in your collection so badly you don't know what to do with yourself. I feel like if you picked it up, you could use it, like it would serve its purpose. I don't think it's anything super special though. Yeah, it's nice, but nothing like amazing, right? Guys, that really is the end of today's video. I love you so, so very much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, everything will be listed in the description box below. Make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And until next time, as always, no filters, no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting in front of my camera, playing with some new makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.